alleged and brutal attack in Juba caught many by surprise in that city. In its ruling Thursday, the military court also ordered the government to pay compensation to the victims. The court case was widely seen as a test of will by the government of President Salva Kiir to bring accountability in the military that has long drawn accusations of widespread rights violations and a culture of impunity. A lawyer for the 5 rape victims says the verdict was not harsh enough. Meanwhile, rights group Amnesty International called it a first step towards fighting impunity in the war-torn country. Now, for more on the political and security situation in South Sudan, I'm joined by Grace Alex Abalang, Member of Parliament and Chairperson of the Government Assurance Monitoring Committee of the South Sudan National Assembly. Ms. Abalang, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you very much.
So, a little bit about the sentencing of these 10 soldiers. What has changed in Juba? Because for a long time, people said soldiers and even whether it is in the government side or the opposition have committed atrocities, but nobody is ever held accountable. We're seeing a change.
Yes, I'm seeing a change because it's first time in the history of South Sudan for this verdict to be done, and it is really commendable, and it shows the seriousness of our government to human rights violation and accountability. And as a member of parliament and representative for the women, more still need to be done.
Indeed, especially given all the rape cases that have been reported across the country. Now, as a member of parliament, and it's actually so critical, you're a female member of parliament, what are you doing to ensure, what are you as members of parliament doing to ensure that the government of South Sudan can be held accountable so that it delivers to the people of South Sudan?
Thank you very much. We are doing a lot, and we are doing very much. We have summoned ministers many times, especially the Minister of National Security, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Security. But the question is, and the answer is, the issue of implementation. But as members of parliament, as female members of parliament, we have raised many motions and questioning the ministers about the human rights violation, especially the rape cases which is happening to our women. We have done a lot as parliament, and we have even done legislation concerning those.
Now, some have accused members of parliament of being compromised. In fact, they say that not long ago, millions of dollars were given, spread around, so that members of parliament can be kind of a rubber stamp for the government of Juba. That's
really not true. That's our right, because our Emoluments Act have stipulated that every 5-year term will be given car loan, and is our due, and we were paid because of that, not because we are compromised. Members of parliament cannot just get 40 million or 40,000 as a compromise or as a rubber stamp. No, we are paid because our Emoluments Act have given us, and it's a loan, and we are going to pay it back. It's not buying us.
Yeah. Now, so many of the South Sudanese citizens I speak to in different parts of not only South Sudan, but even outside, feel that the leadership in South Sudan is so detached from the people. And in fact, some of you, members of your families, live in other countries, whether it is in Kenya, Uganda, or even the United States, and therefore they seem like they don't care about what really happens to the common people.
No, that's not true, really. We care, our government care, especially the members of parliaments, because we represent them. How do you represent the people that you don't care about them? And the parliament represent the will of the people of South Sudan, so we really care. Yes, there are some members of the government who their families are abroad, but not all of them. Me right now, I have a baby of 2 years, he's in Juba. So we really care about our people, and that's why we represent them as parliament, and we raise their issues.
Yeah. Now, in the current political dispensation, with this kind of efforts to have a peace deal, do you see it really working and restoring peace in South Sudan, which actually hasn't been there almost soon after the country got independence?
For now, I cannot say it's working. We have to see what's going to happen, but what I can say that they have to implement what they have signed, because we have seen the tendency that they don't implement what they have signed. But as a woman and as a woman representative, they have to implement what they have signed. But for now, we are still not saying in the villages of South Sudan, because there are still violations going on, and also they are fighting in some areas.
Yeah. Now, as a woman, you said, well, some people have actually said South Sudan conflicts about the egos of some men.
Yes.
We know them.
Yeah.
Do you, as a woman, feel that you guys are kind of very disadvantaged in that this is a fight, almost a personal fight between the men of South Sudan?
Exactly. This is a personal fight between the men of South Sudan, because of their position, and women got disadvantaged, and we became the scapegoat, and we became the victims of the whole thing, because we are the one violated, we are the one raped, we are the one killed, we are the one in the IDP camp, and it's really fight between men of South Sudan. There's no single woman in South Sudan who is having an army. There's no single woman in South Sudan is commanding a militia. There's no single woman in the rebellion commanding forces. It's all men of South Sudan.
Do you have hope for a future, peaceful future of South Sudan?
Yeah, I have hope for the next phase coming after implementation of the peace. I have hope, because we have young people who are coming up, who are saying what's happening is not right, because also it's the old people who are doing this. The young are only following, and the young are the one dying, and the young are the one who are their soldiers. But it's the old generation who is messing up South Sudan, and I have hope for the future and the use of South Sudan.
We just hope for the best. Ms. Balang, thank you very much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Grace Balang is a Member of Parliament and Chairperson of the Government Assurance Monitoring Committee of the South Sudan National Assembly.